Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This past weekend I made top 64 Lille. I played Dracotail. As you can see. I had a deck profile made in real life, but the audio was very fucked because a lot of background noises. So I decided to do a new one on DB this time. Yeah. So the event didn't go that planned. I mean, day one worked well. I went 8-1 after day one, and then losing to a game loss, double game loss, and then day two starting off with another game loss and then losing twice more. Um, I think my losses went preventable. I lost once to Deberia, once to Talent's game 3, look at hand, take out the only starter, and two double game loss. I think the two double game loss probably just getting warmed up with the new rules, right? Both didn't play that fast to be honest, so in the future I might play faster there. But overall deck was very good. Couple shots before we start. Shouts to all the people I tested with, Tom, Luca. That's the main people I thought to do as well. Shoutouts to all the people I sit with at Lille, Jonte, Lucas, Marco. Shouts to Felix for giving me a lot of the cards, and shout out to Kian Shabazi being the best British player ever. And yeah, that's kind of like, so I played, as you can see, 3 Lucas, 3 Mululu, 3 Femena, 1 Frixel, and 2 Pan and Ogula. I think most of this is standard. I think 2-2 might not be standard. People opt to play 3 Pan over 2 Ogula. I think the second Ogula is very good in this deck. Not only, of course, there are cards like Lollipop that can banish it out, but just being able to having this one trap top is actually in a lot of matches better. Like in a mirror match against Mitsu, it's also better. So having a variety of names to fuse with is very good. That's why I decided to play 2-2. Um, then for the spells, just the 6 spells and a double trap. You could play Horn over the Sting, but I felt like I expected a lot more Mitsu, and I felt like this one is better against the pure Mitsu deck. Going forward, you might still play Horn again, but because it's like a better interruption, but in general, I felt like Sting was nicer in the main. Then for a small brand engine, play 2 brand fusion, 1 Albas. You don't want to play the big brand cards like opening or something, they just suck. This card were great. At Alt Tarot going second, going first is the starter. Arbas also won me game hard drawing him in the mirror match, so hard drawing him isn't the worst thing. Play 1 plus for consistency, the 1 called by. Called by was a weird run, because it's not a monster, of course, and in this deck, of course, you want to play as many monsters as possible, and as you can see, like, those are the 8 standard spam traps, and then I think this is also like standard, so you play like 10 spam traps, and some people don't play those too, but I felt like just for the consistency, the pros was nice. In the Coldplay I had like 39 cards, and I felt like it's a very good one-off still to play to call by Fuva and especially Morokumo, Amano, sorry, going second. Um, just, just like, it's like an auto win button, like you're not gonna lose when you call by that. That's kind of the same reasoning for the Magna Mood. The Magna Mood is like very versatile in multiple matchups. You can use him against Yami. You can use him in the mirror match when they target something like Mululu with the Aphelion. And of course, Magna Mood against Mitsu is just, yeah, one of the best cards to draw. So I felt very nice with the Magna Mood in main. This could have been another Basalt to going forward. This should have been probably Saronir, which is also very good on this deck. But yeah, I played 4 real hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Bell, 3 Fuva, 3 Nip, and 1 Magna, of course. I think Nip, Ash, and no, Ash, Bell, Fuva is very standard. The Nip might not be, but I feel like in this deck it is. Like in this deck, this card is absurd. Um, just of course you want to play monster hand traps, so there's no space for Impulse or something like that. And I didn't feel like Valor is good enough. I do side deck Valor, but I felt like in a main deck it's too weak against decks like Mitsu and Yami. So I felt like Nip is better there. You can prevent it to Gyros draws, and Nip against Yami is always nice, right? You always prevent Herald, most of the times, depending on how they play the combos, of course. And Nib is also cool because if there are hands where you only draw like a name, Femina, and like Nib, you can use Femina first and then later add back Nib with then add back Nib with Avalon and then still Nib later. You can't really do that with like Ash or Valor. Like you can't really, because those centers you have to use very early, right? So it is very good in this deck especially. And of course drawing into it is very, very nice in some scenarios. Yeah, 40 cards. No much to explain. Extra deck, I played 3 Aphelion, the 1 Gugamel. You don't need 2 Gugamel to be honest. Yeah, very standard. Then the 4 utilities, people don't play all 4. Play the Philia, the Chaos, the Mysterion, and the Secretarian. All of them were very good. I summoned all of them. This won me a game. This guy's just broken, obscenely broken. Not only like making your board empty, so in the mirror match they can't get to, or like thrust in general against some decks, but like just being able on the opponent's turn to summon a Fuse of the Aphelion and the Pan to get a pop, and then later use Ophelia. Very nice. The Chaos is very nice as well. I had it one game in the mirror match. I had like Femina, Mululu, Albas, and end of main I went Femina, fuse those two off, and then pop both traps, which just won me the game on the spot. And this card is also very nice in combination with Brain Fusion going second. You can out cards like Diffuser that was running around, so this card was great. And the one with Sirion, this card, I expected more Izunas to be honest in my preparation for this event. I only faced one K9 deck, but this card can going first protect you from Izuna because Izuna is sometimes good if your opponent knows what he's doing. This card came also up against Malice. He could dodge it with the GWC he had to, but still, in theory, this card was very, very good. I also played again. The Secretarian, not much to explain, like one of the most important utility fusions in the deck. Next up, the 5 brand monsters. I played Signifier, this is the best one. Just being able to not play into Nip, he can't be targeted, he beats our Herald going second, and they can't target it. And of course, interruption through the Albas is very good. Albion, not much to explain. Lubayon, I summoned this one once, you don't really need him, because, like, you don't really summon Mululu and want to discard the card. That's why you usually always go for this or this. But he's there, I summoned him once using Albas to fuse off Anguish against Memento. Mirror Dread, not much to explain. Titanic Lad, just saw the Liger answer from Lunar Light. I did not play the Kaiju because I felt like it's kind of fake to first of all resolve your Brain Fusion, then attack over one, and then like bounce back then the Kaiju with your Aphelion. Because there's always the Hound, there's like I don't know, Babuska or SP shit, so IP whatever. So you're not really outing two Liger. I think outing one Liger if you hand them, for example, that comes up, but 2 not coming up. So I just played it, never summoned it. Typhon, never summoned it. SP, cast broken. I did not play the seal package. I felt like it's kind of overkill. I have not lost a single game in this way since going first. I have lost one game going first where I bricked. It's the only time I really bricked, and I don't count that really. So I didn't really need the seal package. I know about the lock to lock your opponent, but I felt like it's kind of one more, and then at the end it was, and never missed it. And yeah, I wanted to have more utility in Exo deck. Side deck played 3 Joel, 2 Veiler, and 3 Phantasma as more hand traps. Joel is really safe explaining against all those Meter decks running around. Veiler might be weird in the side deck, but it's there basically for the mirror match and for decks like Malice. It was very, very good against Malice. I played 2, as well as against the mirror match is very impactful as well. Phantasma, not much to explain, probably one of the best side deck cards in this deck. He's also Dark Dragon, so you can use him for Chaos later, but also, yeah, I mean, against Yami, just getting a body on field, drawing some cards is very nice. Droplet, also a weird one, I think, in this deck, because most people, yeah, don't really play this card in this deck, but this card was great for me. It's very good in the mirror, of course, to dodge. It's very good against Yami to out the Herald, so there's multiple usages. I felt very safe with this card in my deck, and it was pretty good. I negated like an Felon. I knew he had Famine in hand. I set both my traps in my turn, and so I passed, and then he went Famina, and I dropped it as a Felon and just won on the game. He just went like -3 cards. Yeah, so Joe was great. Next up, the best card of the format, not much to explain. I lost to it multiple times. Even got main decked, deburied. I mean, this card should be banned, but well, it's a win con. When you draw this like game 3 or in general going first against decks like Pure Mitsu and you have Engine and discard, you just won the game. Last card in this deck was Hellhorn. I think I activated this card once, hard drawing it. I don't think you really need 3 traps, but yeah, just having it there. 2 player on Fuva pulse set especially is very nice, and of course extra draw is never bad. So yeah, that's the deck. Overall, I like the deck a lot. I had a lot of fun playing this deck. Going forward, we'll make a few changes. Maybe Horn to main deck again. Cut probably the call by. But other than that, I like the deck a lot. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.